MrBeast situation is bizarre. One thing about MrBeast, bro, he's always gonna find himself in some controversy. Me personally, I have seen him do some questionable things, but at the same time, I've also seen him cure blindness. So a lot of times I start to feel like the hate is forced on this nigga. But let's get right into the video and see what it's talking about. Make sure you guys tap into the Twitch streams. The link to that will be in the description. That's Whereyouatberto. Y'all see the chat going crazy, bro. We want to see y'all here in the live stream community, man. We trying to get to averaging like 50 viewers per stream, so I need y'all to pull up. Let's get right into it. Come on.
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look sweet.
Do you want a free cookie?
Thank you so much.
It was MrBeast. Invited me over his house and gambled away all of my Bitcoin. The rabbit hole goes much deeper, and I'm talking to you right now, Jimmy, only you for what you did to me.
Hello. This is another video filmed inside the urine-soaked bathrooms, apparently. I'm still trying to work on some kind of backdrop. At the minute, it's not working out too great. Now, I am talking about MrBeast. I love talking about MrBeast. It is the best way for your video to easily do a 1 out of 10 in the YouTube studio. Now, I've made many videos about MrBeast, but this one is probably the strangest by far because he basically didn't do anything wrong. So on the 10th of August, my lad actually posted a video called Trust Nobody. And in this video, he talked about some pretty bad happenings. So apparently, when he was early into his content creation era, he was approached by a very large YouTuber and asked him if they wanted to collaborate on a project together.
When I first started out on YouTube, I had another YouTuber reach out to me to collab, and I'll never forget this for the rest of my life.
He said yes, because again, if you're the smaller YouTuber in this scenario, you'll probably say yes in most cases, because again, if you're collabing with someone larger than you,
yeah, and it's fucking MrBeast. Like, you gonna say yes every time.
You're always going to benefit more. And so the two ended up collabing, but then things seem to have taken a turn for the worst. Milad was apparently invited back to the YouTuber's house, and then they hung out for a bit, and apparently then the scary vice of gambling was brought up.
They invited me over to their house after our collab, and we had a great time, but somehow the conversation of gambling came up.
By the way, as many of you know, I'm in Australia right now. Apparently, Australia has the highest gambling loss in the world. That still blows me away. I did a quick search, and apparently Australia
don't
only
gamble,
has 1%
kids.
of the world's population, but 18% of the world's poker machines.
Razor said it's a skill issue. That's actually hilarious.
And they have the biggest loss per capita, losing $25 billion a year, and also earning $31 billion a year through gambling. You wonder where the Kick head offices are? They're in Australia. But apparently, he found out that this YouTuber was a huge gambler. And even though apparently Milad didn't really dabble with gambling that much, sure, he was down to join in for fun.
This person loved to gamble, and even though I'm not a huge gambler, I wanted to because I thought it would be fun.
Now, when Milad was asked how much he was willing to gamble, obviously you should set some kind of limit. I know the meme of the man digging through the hole, and there's diamonds right there.
Yeah, this isn't a good analogy when it comes to gambling. This one right here is going to get you cooked. This is like for chasing your goals, working hard, things that are actually scalable. But at the end of the day, it's called gambling for a reason. You don't have that much control over the results. This analogy right here does not work when it comes to gambling.
Never quit gambling. You're always one slot away from winning. But again,
hell nah.
You probably should still set limits. I mean, personally, I don't really gamble myself. Maybe
I'm not a big gambler myself either. But if like, I'm the type of person, bro, I know when to walk away, especially when I take L's, bro. Like for me, it's really on some shit where, no, nigga talking about unless you're him. No. See, that type of mindset's going to get you absolutely cooked, bro. It's really on some shit where you have to mentally be like, okay, I'm going to take out this amount of money. Let's just say for simple math, it's $100. I'm only willing to lose this amount of money. So if you lose all of that money, that's it. You can't take out no more. You know what I'm saying? And then if you make any amount of money, you already won. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to go into that type of shit, bro. But if you are just the type of motherfucker like, damn, I lost, I need to make it back. Listen, bro, you're going to take that L and it's going to be bad. I knew I wasn't into gambling because I got finessed. I remember being at the mall, bro. And y'all know those like cup and ball tricks where it's like they got the 3 cups, they put the ball and the little paper ball and then they switch it up and shit. I remember I went to the mall with fucking like $500 and I really wanted to buy some shoes that day. And I went and they let me win at first. And I was like, oh shit. And I had every right to walk away. I was like, oh, this shit easy. But that's how they trick you, bro. These stupid ass niggas let me win the first time. And now I'm thinking, oh, I can run it up on them. I can really like flip this. I could really maybe flip this whole 500. But now I'm up $100 already. I really should have just took my one and went out the door. And you know what my stupid ass did? I said, oh man, it was so easy to win that 100. I'm going to put 300 this time. Damn, big. Yo. When they went and switched up the fucking balls and shit, I'm paying attention. I'm thinking I'm seeing that shit. I'm like, man, this shit light work. That shit. The ball is right there in the middle one, man. That nigga picked that shit up. The ball wasn't there, gang. The ball wasn't there. Took my shit. And then before you know it, I'm like, damn, now I'm down 300. Now I got to make that back. Nigga, I walked away from that session with $10 fucking dollars, bro. $10 fucking dollars. Point being, never gamble money you're not willing to lose. And never gamble trying to, make that money back. Because you needed to have been willing to lose that shit. Period. All right? Take the advice from Uncle Bert.
I'll go to a casino with friends like once a year or something like that. But I know for a fact that I will lose all of that money. But obviously, you just have fun doing it. You try and space it out as much as possible. I've never seen a casino as a way to make money. It's just to lose money in a kind of entertaining way. I say that, by the way, and then one night I'll probably put $10 down, turn it into...
Grandpa said, Bert admitting he's unk now. Man, shut the fuck up. Sometimes it sounds cool just rolling off the tongue, but no, I'm not unk, man.
$10,000.
I won't be unk till I'm like 40.
And instantly become a gambling addict. I actually think the only time I've bet in my life online, because I know online gambling is a very slippery slope. There's a lot of convenience there. You don't even need to leave the house or the apartment. Was the Logan and KSI fight. And I basically made all the wrong bets because KSI ended up winning. So Malad set a limit of around $200 because at the time he wasn't really that big of a creator. I mean, to be fair, he was only really 2 months into his career.
Week.
So there wasn't really much money around then.
So they asked me how much I wanted to gamble, and I recommended that we gamble maybe $200 because, well, I'm not trying to lose a lot of money. And keep in mind, this was literally 2 months into YouTube, and before this, I had never made money in my life. This person literally laughed at me.
And apparently, Malad was laughed at for setting the limit at $200. And then this specific creator that he still hasn't named yet said to him, how much do you have in your Coinbase account? Obviously, for those who don't know, Coinbase is basically like one of the biggest crypto trading platforms in the world. And at the time, Malad said he basically had around half a Bitcoin, which was around $21,000.
Asked me how much I had in my Coinbase account because they knew I'm a Bitcoin guy. I had 0.57 Bitcoin in there, which at the time was around $21,000.
Bro, y'all want to hear the most, I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to say something and some of y'all niggas might lose respect for me. I lost respect for myself. Right around the time of C19, if you don't know what I mean by C19, the time period where everything was shut down and niggas was wearing face masks and shit, Bitcoin dropped to as low as $5,000, bro. Right around that time, I had made my first real type of money where it was tens of thousands of dollars. I think it was probably, let's just say it was around I made $30,000, $40,000 off a business venture. So, I had a lump sum of cash. And, just as a young nigga that's trying to make money and get not just be dumb with his money. I'm just thinking, oh, I need to invest. I need to start, putting my money in certain places. I bought an entire Bitcoin. I bought one Bitcoin, bro. I bought one Bitcoin. I had one Bitcoin at 5K, bro. I still have the receipts, y'all. Hold up. I actually might need to. This shit is crazy, bro. I literally had a Bitcoin at 5K. Let me see if I could show y'all this. Let me see if I can show y'all real quick, bro. Look, I literally have the receipts, bro. I had an entire Bitcoin at 5K. Owned that shit. You know how much Bitcoin is worth today, chat? Let's just do a quick little Google search. See how much Bitcoin is worth today. Oh my God. Bitcoin right now is worth $117,000. Do you know how much profit I sold my Bitcoin for? $200 fucking dollars, bruh. I sold my Bitcoin for $200 fucking dollars, chat. And I thought I was doing something. I remember, like, mind you, this is my first time investing money. This is my first time, like, you know, putting my money in any type of like stock market or anything. I'm literally just like, yo, I'm trying to flip. And I remember feeling so fucking good, bro. I was like, yo, bro, I put money in and then I made money. I made $200. Woo! 117 grand, y'all. 117 grand. GG's, man. GG's. GG's, bro.
And the worst thing is, if Milad actually kept that Bitcoin in his account, it would now be worth over $100,000. So this YouTuber, again, that Milad keeps saying but not actually naming, asked him to send him the Bitcoin and he'd use it in gambling, and even if he lost, he'd pay him back.
They told me to send all of it and that they would pay me back. Now, normally I would never in a million years ever agree to this, but I really trusted this person and he was a massive creator, so I agreed and sent the money.
Now, obviously, this is one of the biggest red flags imaginable. Bro, just give me some crypto. I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, you can even say that with real world money. Bro, this guy you just met, just give him some money. He'll pay you back. But I guess it was a mix of, like, you know, seeing a bigger creator and hoping to, you know, get another collab or something like that. So he basically abided, gave him the Bitcoin. And much like anyone in the casino, the loss happened. And it happened very quick. In about 5 minutes, the $21,000 evaporated.
I'm not even kidding. Within 5 minutes, they gambled away all of my money. But I was completely okay with it because I was like, I'm going to get this money back.
But obviously, he was promised that he would be paid back by the creator, you know, if the money was lost.
And this creator was MrBeast.
So Milad claims after the collab wrapped up, after it was finished, everyone went home, and then he asked for the Bitcoin back, and there wasn't any kind of response. He reached out again, apparently, and no response.
So I go back home and I reach out for my Bitcoin. The first time, no response. The second time, no response. I reached out about 5 more times before I realized, oh, I just got completely bamboozled.
He basically asked to have the money lent back to him with the understanding that he'd get like around 5 times.
This nigga kind of dumb, though, for doing that, bruh. And you let him spend your whole portfolio?
Again, no response. So Milad is now down $21,000. Again, he got basically the collab of the century, but still being down over 20K, not really the best look. Now, if you check the comments of this video, it wasn't actually pulled, unlike the other one that I'll talk about soon. And people really want to know who this creator is because he wasn't named in the video. Like there's one guy here saying, dude, it's your moral responsibility to say something. This guy has access to tons of other small creators that won't be as lucky as you to recover from this. It's your duty to stop it. And then Milad basically heard people's concerns. He saw the comments. He definitely saw the views on the TikTok and thought to himself, okay, you know what? Let's make a sequel and actually name drop this person. Now, again, this video has been deleted at the time of recording, but the original one still alluding to him is still up. And also this video has been obviously re-uploaded basically everywhere. So it basically opens up with this like moral obligation that he has to name drop this creator, even though he apparently had no intention of doing so previously.
Yesterday, I told a story about how when I was 2 months into YouTube, I had a big YouTuber collab with me that invited me over his house and gambled away all of my Bitcoin, promising that he would pay me back, but he didn't. Now, I had zero intention of name dropping this person, but I now believe I have an obligation to keep this dude accountable because if he did this to me, he's probably done it to many others.
Facts. That MrBeast cease and desist you gonna get to getting rid of any evidence of you saying anything.
And again, Who is it? Who do you think it is? It's the title of the video. It's the only reason you clicked on this video. It's MrBeast.
It was MrBeast.
So apparently MrBeast was the person who gambled this guy's Bitcoin away and then basically ghosted him and never paid him back. So he does try to give a little bit more context here. The collab he apparently did was like baking 50,000 cookies for MrBeast's philanthropy channel, and there is a version of this uploaded both on MrBeast's philanthropy channel and Milad's own personal channel, like his perspective. So this video did happen, and this was all the way back in like June 2021. So to give some context, MrBeast was doing a food drive because in this one town 35% of people that lived there were under the poverty line. Oh my god, that voice. Ooh, let's not do that again.
Let me explain. We're gonna drive out to a small county where 35% of the people live below the poverty line. And we're literally gonna give out food to any family that needs it.
So initially they were just gonna give like any family that shows up 3 boxes of food. But now with Milad on board, who's known for like baking and cooking, he was gonna give away 50,000 cookies on top of that. And MrBeast kind of makes it out that Milad kind of did this like of his own volition, even saying like for whatever reason, Milad made all these cookies. I'm guessing that was just like part of the narrative because Milad does actually say that MrBeast reached out to him.
Wait, but this food drive's a little different because this TikToker right here, Milad, for whatever reason, felt compelled to bake 50,000 cookies and donate it to Peace Philanthropy.
Milad says that to make 50,000 cookies, it took him 4 days in the kitchen.
Oh my god, that sounds miserable.
So had to pay for his flight in North Carolina where the shoot was taking place. Because as you know, that's where MrBeast, I guess the Beast compound is, the breast compound.
He invited me over his house after I spent 4 days straight in a kitchen making 50,000 cookies for his charity. Bought tickets to fly out to North Carolina.
And on top of that, he had to basically pay for the ingredients to, you know, make the cookies. And that apparently cost him around $10,000.
And spent $10,000 of my own money on said cookies for his charity.
What the fuck? Nigga. I don't give a fuck what goddamn charity we got going on. You think I'm spending 10 bands on cookies? Not the Bert Foundation.
And then he told me to send him all the Bitcoin in my...
I'll spend some money on something else, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Krabs, look, bro. Look, bro. You think I'm spending 10,000 on cookies, nigga? Like, you gotta give me a better, like, return on investment. Cookies, gang, I'm straight.
Coinbase account and gamble it away in under 4 minutes.
I mean, you'd think if it was a collab, Milad would have had like his flights paid for, the ingredients paid for. I'm kind of surprised that he wasn't, but then again, I guess Milad had a lot more to gain here than Jimmy did. He was basically just hosting someone for a small segment in his philanthropy video. So I guess to not make the collab totally free, he basically had to pay his way there and pay to actually have the appearance via buying the ingredients himself. Now, he also claims there were like loads of witnesses to this as well, but like apparently most of them were like friends of MrBeast, so they won't come out against him. But one thing Milad does show is a transaction history from his Bitcoin wallet.
There were many witnesses, and this is the transaction. You gotta love the blockchain. It doesn't miss a thing.
And this is one thing I've noticed about MrBeast is a lot of people can come out about him and basically say anything they want, and people will just kind of run with that. Some of it in the past definitely has stuck to the point that he has actually had to come out and address things. But then there are situations like this where there isn't really too much proof shown apart from like a singular transaction and just a story time with no screenshots, and people will still run with that as well. Now, Milad, while he's doing sandwiches in this short, he basically addresses MrBeast directly and apparently told him, again with no proof, that he needs to start making gambling content.
I need you guys to understand the position I've just put myself into. I essentially am going against an audience of 1 billion people, and many people will be coming after me and trying to tear down what I've built because I now decide to choose to tell my truth. They'll call me a liar, they'll call me a clout chaser, they'll do anything to discredit my truth, but I don't care. If something's scary but it needs to be done, you need to do it scared. And right now, honestly, as I speak these words, I'm pretty terrified. I'm not scared of you, Jimmy. I'm scared of your money, and I'm sure there's many other victims terrified to tell their story about this guy too, but I empower you to do so. Now, this part of the video is for you, Jim. I know you're watching. You're probably really mad, but Jimmy, this is exactly what you told me to do, remember? You looked me dead in the eyes as you gambled away my Bitcoin and told me that this should be the content I make, and well, here we are.
Milad also says that he doesn't want an apology and he doesn't actually want the money back. He apparently just wants his story to be out there so people know that MrBeast did wrong.
I don't want my money back. I don't want an apology. I want you to know that what you did isn't right, and I want you to really think about what you did to me. If there's any others you may have done wrong, I ask you to repay those people in silence. I don't want you to text me. I don't want you to address this. You might even want to send me a defamation case. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want. You're your own man.
And then, like many...
I feel like I would like to hear MrBeast's side of the story, bro, because again, for him to just, y'all also got to remember, like right in the beginning of this, he also wasn't really inclined to tell his truth until it was the comment section that convinced him. So it's like he almost probably didn't even see the opportunity for more views and more clout and more motion until the comments convinced him. But if he was really upset, he probably would have been exposed MrBeast. Because again, I know I'm sitting in that seat. MrBeast fucking gambled all my money away and I didn't get nothing out of it, to the point where I felt cheated. Like, nigga, I'm yelling and screaming on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's more to the story. I'm not really buying his, you know, shiny armor act right now, but you know, I still think if there is truth to this, what MrBeast did is pretty fucked up.
These videos calling out MrBeast, he hints at like a much deeper rabbit hole to dive into. Again, without really giving much like context or anything.
But the rabbit hole goes much deeper, and I don't want it to go there. I know there's many people in your organization that make a living, and I don't want to affect those people.
Now, the real question here, is this true? Did this happen?
This nigga talking like he think he gonna end MrBeast motion. That, come on. We've seen a lot of MrBeast allegations out in the air. That nigga is still getting millions and millions and millions of views, nigga. You are not the factor that is gonna fuck that nigga up.
Or did it come...
He's the biggest YouTuber in the world.
...to him in a dream? Well, apart from the screenshot that Milad shows showing the Bitcoin account, there wasn't really any updates or evidence at all. People actually ended up looking up the Bitcoin wallet address shown in the video and who the Bitcoin was sent to. And it does show that that transaction was actually made in May 2021, which was a month before the collaboration. That being said as well, though, if you look at the account, there is basically zero history of it at all, implying that MrBeast might have made the account just for like a singular transaction and then basically never touched the account again. Now, in a bizarre turn of events, Milad actually ended up taking down this video calling out MrBeast. And again, the original video alluding to him is still up on his account. You can go watch that now. So you've got a video of alluding to a YouTuber, but the one naming the YouTuber, it got nuked. Now, he did address why the video was taken down, but it was in like a really strange and bizarre way. There wasn't a follow-up video. There wasn't a big tweet made addressing everything, but there was an account with 8 followers, and they put out a tweet in the Twitter community called Justice of Milad, which they're an admin for. They're like one of 2 members. Basically, you know, doing a quick summary of what Milad was saying in the video. And the tweet only got like 1,800 views, 13 likes. It just went completely under the radar. I'm not saying because a tweet didn't blow up, it's like less reliable, but it's just showing that the thought patterns here are a little bit bizarre, because Milad actually chose this tweet to reply to saying, hey, it was a misunderstanding and I deleted the video.
See, and that's kind of was my point all along. I'm seeing through that shit, bro. I feel like he saw an opportunity to get some views, and you know, his motives changed, so he dropped some shit trying to expose MrBeast. But I just feel like you don't just get finessed out of 20 grand and then don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's somebody like MrBeast. Like something else changed his mind, which, you know, probably came from the comment section in that initial video on why he even went down that path in the first place.
Which, again, like, that brings more questions than answers. Where did the misunderstanding come from? You seem pretty certain that you gave him $20,000 worth of over $20,000 worth of Bitcoin. He gambled it and you never got it back, and he ghosted you. I mean, again, Milad made that video, like, even calling out MrBeast by name. So he must have been pretty confident in, like, the evidence that he had, or the proof, or, like, you know, his recollection of events. I mean, in the video that he took down, he even ends it with, like, a middle finger saying, "F you, MrBeast."
But I'm talking to you right now, Jimmy. Only you for what you did to me.
So I don't understand how it's gone from, like, hating this guy to then switching up and saying, oh, it was a...
Yeah, he's clout chasing, bro. He's clout chasing.
Misunderstanding. I had a dream. I had a dream where you gambled $20,000 worth of Bitcoin. I mean, there could be like a myriad of reasons here. Milad could have been lying. for views and for clicks, even though that doesn't really, I don't believe that theory personally. But again, you say misunderstanding, and it's, what misunderstanding? That's such a bizarre thing to say. Like if you said something like, you know, Jimmy reached out to me in the DMs, I got paid back, or I sorted it, because like MrBeast in the past has, like, as we've seen, reached out to people personally through DMs, you know, to try and like sort out beef or to communicate with people in kind of a more private manner, not tweeting at them publicly. But I don't understand, like, was there a contract that was signed saying like you couldn't ask for the money back or something like that? Or maybe even the MrBeast lawyer team hit him with a cease and desist. But again, I find that so hard to believe. Like, I really wish I had like a good conclusion here. I wish I could say, oh, this happened or this happened. But like, you know, you make a claim about MrBeast basically like scamming you out of 20K, and then it's like, oh, it's a misunderstanding. I'm just so silly. I'm just so silly.
Word. I think we get the point. We'll end this video here, man. But at the end of the day, I just think this guy was clout chasing a little bit. But, you know, if it did take place, you know, I definitely think there's some blame to put on MrBeast, bro. But at the same time, like, I gotta put some responsibility on bro. Like, I don't care how rich MrBeast is. I don't care what the fuck he says. I'm not just gonna allow a nigga to just spend my money, you know what I'm saying? Without no at least contract in place saying like, no, you gotta give me that. And even then it's like, bro, MrBeast, we've seen MrBeast give out millions of dollars to random people. So unless you got that money on hand, ready to give to me to do X, Y, and Z, like, yeah, well, you're not just spending it from my account. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, bro. You know, just another day where MrBeast is about to get canceled. But anyways, love y'all, appreciate y'all. If you're watching on YouTube, this is the end of the video. But make sure you guys tap into the Twitch streams. Links will be in the description. Where you at, Berto? Where you at, family? I love y'all.
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look too easy.